from Midnight Madness with Cavi's Clown next, then Strands of Gold and Gala's Image and Kissan and Bucko as they jump the first. And all safely over it. High Edge Grey jumped it last and Mr. Frisk jumped it first. Racing now towards the second, the first of the ditches this. Mr. Frisk from Kissan, Midnight Madness and Strands of Gold on the inside. Behind them Bucko and Cavi's Clown. Then on the twist on the outside and Nupsala. Gala's Images on the inner with High Edge Grey, who's made ground on the inner over the third, Mr. Frisk. Safely over that, all of them too. Kissan is second, Strands of Gold third. Bucko 4, 5 on the outside, Midnight Madness and Strands of, then on the outside on the twist, on the inner is High Edge Grey. And then Nupsala was just the back marker. They race towards the next, the fifth. Mr. Frisk lands in the lead from Kissan and Midnight Madness. Strands of Gold, that is, towards the right of the picture. Towards the left is on the twist. They're very similar, both with the light sleeves, you'll see. In the center, Cavi's Clown with his white face, being followed by Handy Trick. Gala's Image close to the lead. And Nupsala and Kill Daimo are the two back markers, as Mr. Frisk is the leader from Kissan and Midnight Madness. On the twist and Strands of Gold and Gala's Image as they race now towards the cross fence. This is the sixth. Over the sixth, Mr. Frisk lands in the lead there. Nupsala still the back marker, beginning to swing left-handed. Mr. Frisk from Kissan and Midnight Madness. Nupsala just lost a bit of ground at that one. And Kill Daimo somewhere behind the remainder. Mr. Frisk there from Kissan. These two disputing it as they come down to the second of the ditches. Kissan the leader from Mr. Frisk, a little between them. Just in behind them, Strands of Gold and Cavi's Clown and Midnight Madness. Then comes Handy Trick, Hardy Trick. High Edge Grey over on the far side. Kill Daimo quite a bit behind the remainder of the field now as they come down towards the 10th. It'll be the last on the next circuit. Kissan and Mr. Frisk together from Midnight Madness. Strands of Gold and Gala's Image and High Edge Grey and Cavi's Clown. Then comes Handy Trick and Bucko. Behind them on the twist, Nupsala and then Kill Daimo. So over the water. And as they jump it, Mr. Frisk on the inside of Kissan. They're all safely over it, though Kill Daimo jumped it a little bit awkwardly, screwed a bit to the right there as he jumped it. They go out into the country now with Mr. Frisk on the inside of Kissan, then Midnight Madness, then Strands of Gold, then Handy Trick and Cavi's Clown. Behind them, Gala's Image, then Bucko. Behind Bucko is High Edge Grey, then comes Nupsala and on the twist. Over the 12th. Kissan landed in the lead there from Mr. Frisk and Midnight Madness. Then Strands of Gold. Handy Trick behind them. High Edge Grey and Gala's Image and Cavi's Clown, and then Bucko. Then Nupsala and on the twist. Midnight Madness and Kissan disputing it now. Kill Daimo's been pulled up. Mr. Frisk is third. 4 is Strands of Gold. 5 is Handy Trick. 6 is High Edge Grey. High Edge Grey has a faller there. High Edge Grey has gone at that one. High Edge Grey is down there. They've got 7 left to jump. And it's Kissan and Midnight Madness. Jump that together for Mr. Frisk on the inside. Behind them come Handy Trick. Behind Handy Trick is on the twist. 6 from home now. Bucko comes next, then Cavi's Clown, who made a mistake at that one. Nupsala is beginning to make ground now. They're beginning to swing left-handed. And as they do so, it's Kissan and Midnight Madness and Mr. Frisk. These three ahead of Handy Trick, who's making good ground on the outside. Strands of Gold is next. Behind them, Cavi's Clown. Nupsala still making ground from the rear. Bucko is well there too as they come to the cross fence. Midnight Madness with the advantage at the cross fence. Midnight Madness lands in the lead, makes a mistake there though, forfeits the lead once again to Kissan with Mr. Frisk coming back there on the inside. Bucko still making ground. Strands of Gold and Handy Trick are still well in touch, and Nupsala has got much too much to do to get in touch now, the French challenger, as they come down now towards the fourth last. Mr. Frisk with the advantage once again from Midnight Madness. Strands of Gold on the near side. A wide open race this. Strands of Gold on the near side. The fractional leader now from Mr. Frisk. Midnight Madness. Handy Trick trying to get on terms with her now. The sheepskin nose band, that is. Strands of Gold landed in the lead there. It's Strands of Gold from Handy Trick on the near side. Mr. Frisk on the far side coming down to the second last. Strands of Gold lands in the lead from Handy Trick in second. Mr. Frisk third. Midnight Madness is fourth. And Strands of Gold refining his old form here for Martin Pipe as he comes down to the final fence with a 4-length advantage from Handy Trick. Strands of Gold lands in the lead. Handy Trick was second. Mr. Frisk third. Cavi's Clown has moved into fourth. They're racing into the closing stages. And Strands of Gold is sprinting up to the line to win the 32nd Hennessy. Strands of Gold is the winner. Second is Handy Trick. Third is Mr. Frisk. 4, Cavi's Clown. 5 was Midnight Madness. 6 was Bucko. 7, Gala's Image. 8 was Nupsala. And they're the only finishers. And so the result of the 32nd Hennessy Gold Cup. First, number 11, Strands of Gold, owned by Independent Twine Manufacturing Limited, trained by Martin Pipe and ridden by Peter Scudamore. Second was number 7, Handy Trick, owned by Mr. Jack Hansen, trained by Arthur Stevenson and ridden by Michael Hammond. And third was number 6, Mr. Frisk, owned by Mrs. Harry J. Duffy, trained by Kim Bailey, ridden by Richard Dunwoody. And fourth was number 3, Cavi's Clown.